Good morning, my friends. The professor here. Today's project is we're going to take these countertops, Formica countertops, and we're going to apply epoxy to make them look like quartz. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful finish. Nice and easy. Take your time. First thing we did with this is we sanded the surface down to rough it up a little bit. Then we caulked around the edges to make sure there's no leakage. And most of all, we have to cover everything. Make sure you cover all your cabinets and all your surroundings because we don't want anything to get onto the floor. So we're doing this countertop here, this here, remove the sink so we have easy access to this, and that little top over there. So I'm gonna pour some of the paint, epoxy paint here, using my brush. I'm gonna cut the edges in first. You know, try not to hit the wall if you can. If you do, it's okay, you can wipe it off. Nice and easy. We don't need a heavy coat, a very light, thin coat. And if you go up the wall a little bit, it's okay because the epoxy is going to be higher. Then I'm going to dip my foam roller in there and just roll this back and forth. Thin coat. You don't need a heavy coat on this stuff. It's very, very heavy product. So just do a thin coat and we'll come back and check it out afterwards. Most likely we're going to need two. Okay, so we waited an hour for the first coat, and as you can see there's a lot of imperfections and bleeding through of the countertop. So we definitely need a second coat. First thing we're going to do, we're going to use 150 grit sandpaper and gently run it over to remove anything, you know, little bumps and lumps across very lightly. Just go back and forth, and you can run your hand over it and you can feel it. Very smooth. The second coat of paint, everything is nice and even. The color is perfect. We gave it 2.5 hours to dry, ready to mix our epoxy. We're going to use these measuring quartz. Here we're going to mix 1 quart of each, 1 resin and 1 quart of the hardener in separate buckets. So you got to measure them every time to make sure you have equal amounts. And we're going to do the first section right here. Okay, actually we're going to go with a little bit less. We're going to go with 24 ounces. Now, you never mix these two together yet. We're going to first pour them in here and then we'll combine them. So this is the resin and this is the hardener. Again, make sure you have equal amounts. 24 ounces on each side. Okay, now we're going to pour both products in here. I like to put the resin in first because the hardener is going to make it hard. You pour this in this bucket here where we're going to do our mix and use the stick to get everything out of it. Okay. Now let's put the stick back in this can. Use a different stick for the hardener. Now this stuff here will give you approximately 20 minutes to work with. So you don't rush, take your time. Okay, now that we have both in there, we're going to add some of these silver flakes in there to give it the color. We're going to use silver and black. What I'm going to do with this, I'm going to measure it. I'm going to approximately almost half the spoon, and we're going to put it in there. I'm going to use a different one, use a little bit black, not as much. And we're going to mix it. We're going to mix it for about 2 minutes and see what it looks like. And if we need more of one color or the next, we will add it to it. So we're going to go ahead and mix it for about 2 minutes. You can see how the color is in there. Okay, so we finished mixing it for about 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes. Now we're gonna pour it. We're gonna pour this in the middle of the counter because we don't want to run over the edge. We're gonna pour just a little bit, and then we're gonna take a trowel. This is 3/16 trowel, so this is how much material we're gonna move. We're gonna move this around, and as we move it, it will allow enough material to flow in the direction we want. So we're gonna trowel it all the way to the edge. Make sure you get all the edges and walk it out. So we're troweling it along the edge. Don't press too hard because you want to leave the right amount of material based on the teeth that we have on the trowel. So you go back and forth. And you'll know when you run out of material because there'll be nothing left on for the trowel to pull. I'm gonna go ahead and dump some more. So don't go near the edge yet because we're not ready for the edge. So the material doesn't flow over the edge.
Okay.
Now that we covered the base, now we're gonna come along the edge and we're gonna trowel it and let it flow over the edge so we get the sides. And we're gonna have the bucket here to catch the overflow so we can reuse. So just come over here and just trowel it and let it flow alongside the edge right here. So it covers everything evenly. See how it flows along the edge? That's exactly what we want. And you can take a trowel and fill it in and just keep dragging it along. Be generous with the sides. It's okay if there's more, don't worry about it. So we have extra that we picked up. We're gonna need it here, so we're gonna drop it here and continue the same process. That's why we use the bucket to catch the excess so we can reuse it. Okay, that's good. Pour in, we're gonna take a brush, we're gonna do what we call chopping it. Basically, chopping it is when you press into the material at random. There's no pattern here. We're just gonna press and just gently press down, because what this does is mix the material together and also make sure we cover every little thing. So that's called chopping. Again, no pattern, just go randomly all over it. And also we can get rid of any trowel marks that we might have. So try to stay close, and again, not in a pattern. It can go random, up, down, sideways, it doesn't matter. And you see, it looks like it puddled, but this will self-level. It will flatten out without a problem. Don't forget the sides. You could see where we did it here, it's already flattened. Keep an eye on any bristles that might come off the brush. Make sure you pick them up before they dry and stay into the product. Don't brush the sides because you don't want to remove anything from here. You just want to, again, chop it. Okay, now that we've finished chopping it, we immediately take our torch, we fire it up to get rid of the bubbles and to get it to solidify. So you don't get too close, you just go back and forth, and if you look, you'll see a lot of the bubbles in there. You notice a lot of the bubbles? James, you notice? A lot of the bubbles are being topped out with the heat. That's good. All right. We waited approximately 16 hours. You see how the tops are nice and dry for the touch, not ready to be used yet. We're gonna go ahead and apply a second coat of clear coat, same mix we used to give it more strength, durability, and to seal it. And you can see with the light, you see all the specks we throw in there. Silver. It looks absolutely magnificent. And this is the other part of the kitchen. It's really, really cool. Came out really, really nice. So we're gonna go ahead and apply the second coat, and we'll do a final shot after that. Okay, we applied the second clear coat. You can see it's still wet. Look how beautiful and shiny this stuff is. You can see the windows. This section here. And this section here. We're gonna get close so you can see the glitter. That's the glitter we added into the mix. A touch of black and silver. So we took this countertop that was Formica, pretty old and needed an update, and we finished it with this. We spent approximately $300 worth of material, plus about 8 hours of work, including drying time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please click like and subscribe to my channel to help us grow. Thank you and have a great day.